Woo! Ric Flair #1. Code name Ric Flair #1. Let's talk about it. I'm super excited. Okay, so I didn't even know this was coming out. I was checking my local comic book shop. Ric Flair? What? What is this? I love Ric Flair. I have to buy this. So I bought it. And I was not disappointed. We're going to review this using my space system. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 for piss, 2 for awesome. Once you add up all your scores, you get a final total out of 10, and that is the comic rating that you get. So the way it works is that if each category gets a 1, let's say you give it a pass. A 1 is a pass. So 5 out of 10 means it's a pass. 6 out of 10 means it's a little bit more than a pass. 7 or 8 is really good. 9 and 10 is bloody fantastic. You must own this, blah, blah, blah. So I also, when I review comics, I don't put them against each other. So I put them against themselves. So what that means is that if you're buying a Ric Flair comic book, there's certain expectations that come with the purchase of this book. So I don't know what was the price on this one. I don't even know the price. $4.99. So that's $5 US. You're expecting something out of this based on Ric Flair and the creators and all that. How well did it deliver on its promise? That's what we're going for. All right. So again, if I gave this a 2 out of 2 for story, I'm not saying the storyline of this is better than Watchmen or V for Vendetta. I'm saying that for a Ric Flair comic, the story was perfectly done. All right. I'm going to give the story a 1.5 out of 2. I really liked the story here. So basically, they show the airplane accident. Starts off with the airplane. Well, first it starts off with a match. And I'll get to the pacing in a second. Then it gets to the airplane accident. And then he wakes up. And he's in this government office. And they're basically saying, well, we want you to be an agent. And they're injecting him with stuff. And they're like, it's basically like Captain America. Like, you're going to be this big, like, soldier, this agent. And they're like, and you can, have the limousines and the alligator shoes. And you can have any woman you want because we fixed you up so that you can have any woman you want. You're like, all right. And then he gets into a mission. You got the woo right there when he sees himself. They're giving him it's really funny. Like in this beginning here, he's got this like thing on his head, and you thought it was like some brainwashing thing or whatever. It's like, no, it's just to do his hair, and they pull his hair out, and you're like, there he is. So in between matches, he goes on assignments. So that's the story. The story that he goes on, or the mission that he goes on, it's good. There's like a bad guy smuggling drugs. He's got to take out the shipment. So I didn't give it a 2 out of 2. I would probably give it like a 1.75, but I don't really do 0.75s. So 1.5, it's very standard. I got a little bit more than what I would have expected to get, which is why I'm bumping it up. 1 means you get what you expect. 1.5 means you got a little bit more. 2 means you got a shit ton more than you expected. So I didn't get a shit ton more, but I was like, yeah, I like the storyline. The pacing, I'm actually going to give it a 2 out of 2 for pacing. It is a thicker book, but the pages are also very good quality page. I don't really have a category for quality of like page, but these are good quality paper. Like it's a good, I don't know what stock this is, but it's very nice and glossy and very, very thick. It feels like a substantial book. And you are paying this same price for some Marvel and some DC, and I don't think you're getting the quality pages that these guys are. What is this? Scout Comics? Sure. So the pacing is 2 out of 2. Basically, you get a little bit here, just quickly going through. You could say it's 1.5, but I'm giving it a 2, and the reason is that it is a first book, so there's going to be a little bit of like an origin-ish thing going on, but they get to it relatively fast, and I feel that it flows naturally. Like I didn't think like, oh, they need to cut this part. Like I wasn't thinking they could have changed these pages for something else. You know what I mean? So I'm giving it 2 out of 2. I got really caught up in this story, and it went by really fast. The artistry, I'm going to give the art 1.5. I like the colors a lot. I think What's preventing from giving it a 2? I mean, this is a good page. At some point, like this, the cover's awesome. This is a different cover. I feel that this is the cover, the normal cover, but just more not the faded in thing. I feel like he could look slightly better. Like, I know it's Ric Flair because it's called Ric Flair, but if somebody didn't tell me, I would have thought, hey, this guy looks kind of like Ric Flair, but not exactly. But I do like the color. It is panely. It's panely, but you do get a couple of nice pages here and there. So yeah, 1.5. It's good. He does some clotheslines and stuff here, which is cool. So yeah, it's pretty good. Like, see that, even this is nice. This is nicely done. It's it's very close to a 2, but unfortunately I just had to ding it a little bit. But yeah, 1.5. For the characters, I'm actually going to give the characters 1.5 also. Ric Flair himself is awesome in this. You have all of his catchphrases, which is great. Does some wrestling moves. The villain is actually pretty funny because he's a Ric Flair fan, and he's trying to make the toys for Ric Flair, and he's bought his first robe, his entrance robe, and stuff like that. So the villain is okay, but it's really just Ric Flair and that guy. The girl that's in this is like, all right, I just, nothing super memorable. She's just a generic girl. But Ric Flair's character is really fun in this. The general guy is pretty neat, and the villain was okay. So for the villain and the general, I'm giving a 0.5, and for Ric Flair, I'm giving 1 because I really liked him a lot. So 1.5 for that. Enjoyment factor, I'm gonna give it a 2. I really like this comic. Maybe it's a bit high, but I thought it was really a lot of fun. It reminds me of kind of like a Santos. I love El Santo. I love those Santo movies where he's like the agent and stuff like that, and he fights other guys. And I always thought that it's a cool idea, and I think it actually really works well for Ric Flair. And they had a Roddy Piper. I don't know if it was like Roddy Piper Monster Hunter or something, or Monster Fight, something like that. I really wanted to get that. I had a Boris cover, and I just couldn't. I didn't get a chance to get that when it had come out. So I do like these wrestler-based comics, and Ric Flair works for me for this comic. So I'm going to highly recommend it. So what am I at here? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. So definitely a must-have. So we're approaching into the you should definitely buy this. I'm going to say, if you're a wrestling fan, get this. If you're a Ric Flair fan, you're going to get it anyways, right? That's just going to happen. But I think you won't be disappointed. Like, it's not like you're buying, like, there's a lot of stuff you buy and you're like, well, I put it on my little collector's shelf or whatever. Right. But then there's stuff you buy where you're like, well, this is going on the collector's shelf, but I really like this. It wasn't just, like I own all the WrestleManias. So, and I own the Ric Flair DVDs and I can't remember a particular WrestleMania, but WrestleMania 30, it's like, yeah, it was okay. Like, but I have to have it for my collection. I'm not saying that for WrestleMania 30. I'm just naming a WrestleMania, but it's more like, well, I have to buy this for my collection, but damn, that was awesome. So, it's that good. I really like this a lot. I don't know if there's going to be another issue. It says the end at the end, but I kind of want there to be another issue, and they could really do some cool stuff with this. Like, I'd love to see him, like, maybe get, like, Dusty Rhodes in there or something, or I don't know. Like, I don't know what they could do. They could do a lot of cool stuff with this. But, yeah, guys, I really like this a lot. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Codename Ric Flair. Was this even on your radar? But, yeah, I really liked it a lot. 8.5 out of 10. That's a really high score. Let me know what your thoughts are. Until next time.